Why does the average American manage to save just $5 out of every $100 they earn, while the typical Chinese household puts away a staggering $36 from that same $100 according to World Bank data? That gap isn't just a fluke. It's a global financial shockwave. If you're tired of seeing your savings rate barely budge, and you want to understand the blueprint behind almost half the planet's surprisingly high savings, keep watching. I'm Jim from Jim Invests. And after years deep diving into saving, psychology and money habits worldwide, I've found three surprisingly simple Chinese principles that could instantly multiply how much you save each month no matter where you live. Curious how a $36 savings rate could change your future. While so many others are stuck at just $5 in the next few minutes, I'll reveal the exact steps, real-life numbers, and a free tool to help you start now. Let's get into it. Let's begin with a mind-blowing, data-driven reality check almost no one talks about. The average Chinese household saves $36 out of every $100 they bring in. That's not a typo. While your friends might celebrate scraping together 5 cents per dollar, according to the World Bank's recent figures, Chinese savers put away over 7 times that amount. And if you zoom out, China's gross national savings rate has averaged almost 46%, not for a few years, but steadily since 1952. That's across decades of economic revolutions, world events, and massive cultural shifts. In fact, during China's highest savings period around 2008, families were socking away more than 50% of everything they earned. Imagine if you could save half your paycheck every month, every year. That's often the difference between financial struggle and lifelong freedom. What creates such a gap between the West and China? Before we answer that, let's get personal. Meet Wang Xinai, a 32-year-old living in gritty, expensive Nanjing, who's managed to save 90% of her salary for 9 years straight. You heard that right. She lives on just 10% of what she brings home, a number that would make most financial advisors faint. What's her result? No startup luck or crypto windfall here. Wang owns not one, but 2 apartments in one of the priciest cities in China. When Wang's story went viral, over 500 million people tuned in, 500 million. That's more people than all of America, Italy, and France watching a story not about luxury, but saving. When financial discipline becomes headline news, you know it's woven into a nation's DNA. Now you might be thinking, is this some kind of unique government program or economic anomaly? Not at all. The magic is in the habits, not external miracles. Let's lay out what you came for, the exact savings framework Chinese families use, and how you, wherever you are, can start adapting it right now. I'll break it into 3 principles, each one actionable, each proven with real-life numbers and examples. Keep an eye out for your number, every claim. Every stat is cited on screen. And after every principle, I'll prompt you to calculate your own savings, narrate, and drop it in the comments for accountability. Think you can outsave your peers? Challenge accepted. Ready? Here's your roadmap. 1. Embrace a pay-yourself-first mindset with zero-based budgeting. 2. Distinguish ruthlessly between needs versus wants and spend for lifetime value. 3. Make tracking transparency and family teamwork your secret savings superpower. By the end, you'll have a free zero-based budgeting spreadsheet to download. And more importantly, the exact steps to raise your savings rate this month, no matter how tight things feel right now. Let's dive in. Principle 1, pay yourself first. With zero-based budgeting, most people do the opposite. You get paid, spend on bills, groceries, maybe splurge a little, and then try to save what's left, usually not much. Chinese savers flip this logic. Before a dollar goes to anyone else, the first chunk is automatically sent to savings or investments. Think of it as giving your future self the number 1 seat at your paycheck's table. Here's how zero-based budgeting works. Inspired by Chinese households and fully tailored for Western incomes. At the start of every month, list out your total expected income. Assign every single dollar a job before you spend it, even if that job is fun or flexible spending. But make your savings or investment allocation first on the list. For example, If you earn $4,000 monthly, set $1,000 25% aside for savings. Before you pay a single bill or look at that takeout menu, that leaves $3,000 for everything else. This isn't about deprivation, but priority. Your savings rate becomes as non-negotiable as your rent. What does this change psychologically? It turns savings into a fixed commitment, not an optional afterthought. You wouldn't skip the electricity bill for new sneakers, and now you won't shortchange your savings either. Let me show you real math step by step. Say last month you made $4,000. With a traditional approach, you covered all expenses and if lucky saved $120 at the end. That's a 3% rate. But if you automate $800 into savings at the top and spend the rest, you're now saving 20% with the same income. Compound that $800 monthly at 8% annual return for 30 years, and you end up with just under $1.13 million, not counting raises or extras. This single shift can unlock 6 or even 7 figures over your lifetime. Now pause and really check your numbers. What percent of your income did you save last month? Comment your number. Let's see who's leading in our Gym Invest community. Even if it's 2% or less, we're playing the long game. What's the number for Nemernum? First principle down. Let's step up the challenge. Principle 2, ruthlessly distinguish needs versus wants and spend for longevity, not hype in China. The cultural superpower isn't minimalism for its own sake, it's strategic efficiency. Families grow up analyzing every purchase with a double lens. Is it a genuine need or just clever marketing? And if I do buy it, will it deliver value over years or lose its luster next month? Smartphones are the perfect example. You don't need the fanciest model. You need reliable calls, connectivity, and maybe some apps. A $300 no-frills phone does 90% of what a $1,200 flagship does. That $900 savings, if invested, not spent, has a far higher return on happiness. Through time calculation, $900 invested at 7% for 10 years becomes $1,771, a full extra phone or vacation later. This principle isn't extreme deprivation. It's selective splurging, spending extra only, where value compounds. If a pair of shoes lasts 5 years, let it be your one nice pair. A wallet that endures for a decade is a great splurge. Daily Starbucks, not so much. What's crucial here is evaluating purchases by Gusserson or in cost per use. Divide item cost by how many times you'll genuinely use it. The lower the number, the better the spend. But there's an even deeper piece. Chinese families aren't just avoiding useless gadgets. They're also avoiding a massive wealth killer, the endless urge to upgrade with every raise. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's devastating for American savers. The moment your paycheck grows, desires magically grow too. Chinese households break the cycle by pre-allocating every salary increase directly into savings. That way your lifestyle stays affordable and your wealth snowballs. Here's your challenge. Pause and write down one thing you spent money on last month that you wanted not needed. Got it. Now ask, if you'd invested that instead, what would it be worth in 10 years? Share your pick in the comments. Let's get real with ourselves. Coming up, I'll share a quick US or Western case study showing this principle in action and the surprising results when you apply just 10% of it. Meet Sarah, a Gym Invest subscriber from Oregon. Last year, Sarah earned $53,000 after taxes. Like most people, she let spending drift until she tried China's needs versus wants filter. Sarah downgraded her smartphone, delayed fashion splurges, and pushed every raise, big or small, straight into her online savings account. 3 months in, her savings jumped from 4% to 12%, tripled with no extra income. When her family saw the growing account, they joined in. It wasn't easy at first, but tracking cost per use made every decision clearer. Sarah didn't skip all fun, but instead saved up for 2 meaningful family trips, paid in cash, no debt. Today, she's closing in on a 20% monthly savings rate and finally sleeping well at night. Wondering how this all ties together? Let's move to the third and most overlooked pillar. The system behind the scenes that ties Spending and family culture as one. Principle 3, relentless tracking. Total transparency. And family as a team sport. Here's where Chinese savers possess a true cheat code that most Western households never see. Complete financial transparency. Everyone in the household knows what comes in, what goes out, and why every decision matters. It's not about micromanaging or policing. It's collaborative. Like running a business where the whole family is the executive board. Every expense is tracked. Every goal is visible. Imagine your teenage son sees the family's college fund inching up each month. Odds are he'll skip a new video game to help hit the milestone. When your spouse realizes that swapping Friday, dinners out for 2 months, funds a summer, vacation, sacrifices aren't painful, they're shared wins. Here's how to implement this at home. Pick a simple tracking tool, Google Sheets, Mint, Nab, or even paper. Every dollar earned, every expense, recorded weekly. Review progress together, no surprises, no secrecy. Set family goals, like emergency fund to $10,000 by next summer, or save $1,500 for a trip, kakunanum. When everyone's on board, saving stops feeling solitary and starts feeling powerful. After you budget for this month, share, do you track your finances as a family? Solo or not at all? Comment Team Hamas solo. Sheet or mega restart if you're rebooting your system. Up next, I'll show how this principle not only builds fat savings, but helps destroy financial anxiety and turn money from a taboo into a tool. Stay with me. Here's the data. According to the Federal Reserve, the average American household is weighed down by over $9,000 in credit card debt alone. Imagine the savings domino effect if that monthly burden went to building wealth instead. In China, debt is a last resort, not a lifestyle. And major purchases like cars or vacations require cash up front. If you can't pay cash, you wait. The result, more money stays in the family. Available for both emergencies and opportunities. 3 principles in. Let's quickly look at supporting forces. Education, social pressure, and cultural habits. First, education as return on investment. Chinese families often treat spending on education like investing in a stock with guaranteed returns because the numbers make sense. Example, nuance. A $100,000 investment in a child's education bumps their annual earning potential by even $50,000. That's a $1,500,000 lifetime increase, a 15 times return before tax and compounding. So, families willingly cut back elsewhere to supercharge future incomes. Action tip, if you have kids, view every dollar toward their skills or credentials through the lens of long-term generational wealth building. Second, social pressure, but for good. In America, flashing luxury often boosts status, but in China, frugality earns respect. A man with a paid-off, modest car and no debt is admired more than someone with shiny gadgets and massive payments. This peer pressure bonus powers savings, not spending. Third, finding joy in less. Chinese families consciously prioritize simple pleasures, home-cooked meals, walks in parks, low-cost family gatherings delivering happiness without draining wallets. Building habits around inexpensive fun not only boosts resilience, it makes budgeting sustainable even when times get tough. Quick question. What's the most extreme thing you've ever done to save money? I want to hear your story. Share below for a shout out or feature in a future video. Now you've got the full formula. Let's land this with your next steps and a practical tool to launch your own savings. Jumpstart. Download my free zero-based budgeting spreadsheet, link in the description, preloaded for Western salaries, customizable for your numbers. Preset categories and an accountability tracker can help you see progress after just 1 month. Print out the 3 Chinese savings habits checklist and put it on your fridge as a daily history reminder. And remember, you don't need to copy every detail or hit 50% savings overnight. If you're saving 2% now, aim for 5% next month. Each percent is a win. Share your progress below and join the gym. Invest community accountability movement. In our next video, I'll break down the psychology of adapting these habits without feeling restricted and the easiest ways to automate key principles. So be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss it. To recap the most important numbers before we close to worm. Average Chinese household save $36 per $100 World Bank. 2023, while U.S. savers average just $5. Zero-based budgeting, needs versus wants filtering, and transparent teamwork are universal tools. Starting with just one will put you ahead of the curve. Mekamiri. And because every journey looks different, these are general financial education principles, not one-size-fits-all advice. Your results will depend on your circumstances. Always adapt to your own life and consult a trusted professional for big decisions. Here's your recap before you make your next move. Armum. Chinese households save $36 out of every $100 compared to the American $5 source. World Bank 2023. They get there by applying three core savings. Principles 1, pay yourself first. Using zero-based budgeting, assign each dollar, thus use a job and prioritize savings as non-negotiable. 2, distinguish ruthlessly between needs and wants. Spending only for long-term value and calculating cost per use on everything. 3, track every expense. Practice full family transparency and make teamwork a driver of progress, not a point of friction. Today's action steps first. Download the free zero-based budgeting spreadsheet below. Use it to plan out next month's income and assign savings first. Second, track every dollar. Use a tool, a notebook, or the spreadsheet's built-in tracker. Third, talk money openly with your family. Even a quick discussion before dinner can make a difference. Over the next 30 days, aim to raise your savings rate by 2 to 5 percentage points. As you hit those targets, share your progress in the comments for encouragement, accountability, and a shot at a feature on Jim Invest. In the coming months, keep tracking, keep raising the bar, and remember, every extra percent you save can compound into thousands or even millions over a lifetime. Realistically, you'll notice more financial peace of mind in as little as a month. See meaningful progress by your third paycheck. And in a year, you'll be setting benchmarks that friends and family notice. If you haven't yet, subscribe and turn on notifications. Next video. Risha Ruano. I'm breaking down how to automate your savings without willpower, plus the top psychological hacks to stay consistent all year. Drop a comment with your current savings rate or biggest money question and hit like if you're ready to outpace the averages. Don't forget to grab your free checklist and spreadsheet below. It's the practical starting line for your own savings transformation. These are general financial education principles. It is not one-size-fits-all advice. Your results will depend on your individual circumstances. Consult a qualified professional when making major financial decisions.